Deputy Healy-Rae. Thank you very much. Chairman, first of all I want to thank all the witnesses for coming in and giving their time. And I suppose I'm very worried, when we see the fishing industry is practically gone. I'm only wondering, is agriculture, how far away is it, I suppose one of the questions I have is, will young fellas want to get involved or invest their lives in agriculture? I see it around the place that I come from. There's many young fellas, their fathers find places built up, sweat and blood, with money they hadn't at all, and find setups, and they're drifting away. And I mean, I mentioned him here before. I know one fella, he had 58 cows, and now he says he'll have to cut them down to 48. And like, surely there should be some way of seeing after him. I mean, someone is there's no livelihood there now when you cut down to that. It was marginal enough as it was. He was doing other things as well. So that's one place closed down. And, there's another fella trying to get going up the road from him. He had a big old place, he got it from the uncle, and he's invested a lot of money in it. And he was prepared to build another slatted house for to store slurry. And he's been objected to his planning. It is going on now for over a year, a serial object. I mean, he can't get the basic thing, the planning, And then slurry spreading. I mean, they have a different rule altogether in the north of Ireland. You apply for and that's all above over the ditch line. You apply for a permit to spread it in dry weather. And we're forced here then to wait till the weather rains. And until we're flooded. And fellas' tanks are full. What do? They have to spread it. So that's one of the things. I mean, the government must realise and be honest. Coveney back in 2012 or 13, he did away with the quotas, and he told fellas to increase the production of milk. And fellas did that. Fellas took off their coats and went at it. And now he disowns that statement. He's still in the government. He's disowning that. And at that time he said, the Chinese will buy it, he said, and it will be the new liquid gold. White gold, he said. Now we find we must cut back our cows, and the Chinese are increasing. They're boasting now that they'll have over 1 million extra cows. God almighty, lads. And I mean, we had the case all the summer, last summer, where the Minister for Transport, who was also the Minister for the Environment, had a loose going up and down the city of Dublin, painted white, and some black writing on it, tell us not to drink milk. That was bad for them. I raised and signed it all, and I shamed them a few different. That's the gospel truth, lads. That's what we're up against. Well, anyway, Eugene, I know that all of you here mean well, and we all do. From the chairman down, and our hats are on our sleeves, fighting for farmers. But when you see that the only vote we got yesterday in Europe was Ming Flanagan, and I salute him. He's from Roscommon, where Michael Fitzmaurice is from. At least he's learning from Fitzmaurice all the time. But to think that the fellas that we vote for voted against the farmers over in Brussels yesterday. I mean, where are we going? And like the old Yanks said long ago, God man, this.
So you're voting for Europe, are you, Danny?
God man, the rural crowd, God man, the Yanks, the youngsters said long ago, you can fight them all. They said, but you can't fight City Hall. And we're fighting a losing battle, lads, when it is the Minister Eamon Ryan, that we're depending as the Minister for Environment, put up a case for us to help us to ensure that we get fair play, which we're not getting from Europe at the present time. We're not getting it. I mean, there's fellas there's fellas trying to do their best with slurry, and they're being prohibited in every way. They won't get grants, and then they're boasting one day that they'll give us a grant, and the next day then the revenue will come out and they'll take the same amount away because they say you're not qualifying. This is what's happening. They're putting a bush in every gap. And we all mean well. I mean well. All these fellas here and Jackie Cahill means well. Because I know it and I depend on him. And I wish you were Minister for Agriculture instead of some of the lads that they tried. But this thing, I don't know, we see that...
You want to ask questions now, Dan? You have 4 minutes.
Well, I asked one question there. Do you think that young fellas are going to carry on where the old fellas left off?
Do we?
And you see, the other question, because Mr. McNamara there, Sean McNamara, was, I wasn't here inside all the time, but I heard you in the television upstairs. Why is it that they're focusing their attention on the water that's coming out of the farmers' yards? I mean, the local authorities, and I'll just deal with Kerry. And since 2007 or 8, at that time, Scotland Lynn was the first #1 to get a treatment plant. It was #1 on the programme to get a treatment plant. Because there has to be pollution. There's a settlement there. And I'm not blaming the people of Scotland Lynn. They're the finest people. Tom Fleming represented the area, and both of us fought together, and we got it up to the top of the list to put a treatment system there. There is not one there yet. Castle Island is just up the road from it. A third of that town, a great town, a thriving town, have been looking for an extension to their treatment system since 1986. I found documents belonging to my father above in the shed. He was fighting that case at that time. Curragh, down the road, have no treatment facility. And they're just 3 in 1. That's replicated all over Kerry, and I'm sure it's everywhere else. Why is that water different to what the farmers are doing? Only they want to get rid of farmers, plant-based foods. And then with the Taoiseach boasting a couple of years ago that he was vegan and that he wasn't eating meat and more or less said that he was proud of it. I don't care what he ate, but he shouldn't be trying to damage our industry and our people, the people that fought hard for to keep their places, the people that have worked so hard back over the years, like I said, sweat and blood, and no money by them, depending on grants, and then they want us to re-wet places after fellas breaking their hands and their legs and signing the rains, trying to flag them and to dry the places, and now they want to block it up. I'm not saying that we should get violent or get angry or go as bad as the people in the European countries, but we're taking it lying down, lads, whatever we say. We're lying down and just rolling over, and because this is wrong. And anything we try to do, I worry about that. Tom Canning there, he have great points, and I can see that he knows what he's doing, so have all the rest of you. But we're getting no assistance at all, no matter what we'll do. And yet, there will be a food shortage, and maybe they'll change their minds then, because, and I'd say until then, unless there's some massive change of direction, we're finished. We can't, and young fellas won't take on this, to be demonised, to be villainised, and to be called everything that they were causing a climate crisis. Look, the grandest man of all died a few weeks ago there, Ray Bates. He was a climatologist, and he said, look, that fine if people can reduce emissions, but if it meant that people were going to be economically hurt and damaged, that was, he did not believe in that. And he can read up on him, Ray Bates, and he gave 26 years of his life over in Denmark or somewhere, and he only got a very small column, but he basically disagreed with the way we were going at it now.
Okay, then.